Welcome back to IGN Live at Comic-Con 2016. I am here with Ted Raimi and Lee Majors, my childhood hero, $6 million man. Thank you for joining us today.
You loved me when you were just a child? I'm so impressed. Oh, go on.
We go all the way back to Michigan. So let's talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2. You play Ash's dad. I have to ask, Ash is very dumb. Was it genetics or was it environment?
Well, you'll be able to see from when my character enters how much smarter I am than him. But no, it's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
You got to see it.
Were you an Evil Dead fan? Did you know of it before you got the role?
I had heard of it. I must say I hadn't watched it, but when they asked me, I binged the first 10 shows and said, this is a heck of a funny show.
Awesome.
I always thought the horror shows were all horrible.
And let me tell you,
but, you know, with all the blood and stuff, I never did a series with that much blood. So
Yeah.
when I looked
I
at
don't know
it,
if anybody's
it's
done
funny.
a series
It's
with that
funny.
much blood.
It's funny.
But when Lee came, one thing I'll say, he fit like a square peg, man. He was
Yeah.
perfect.
And you play Ash's childhood friend? What kind
Yeah,
of
that's right.
stupid things did you guys get into when you were kids, and how do you top that as grown men?
You don't. The problem is that Chet is dumber than Ash, but that's not saying much because Ash is really dumb. So Chet is really, his IQ is incredibly low. Chet is what would have happened if Ash had never decided to save the world, which is the only motivating force he's got.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing the world went kablooey for his sake.
Awesome. And you know, had you ever thought that you would do a horror comedy at any point in your career? I know you were talking about how the blood and guts and stuff was something you'd never done, but were you even a horror fan?
Well, some of the big films, but
Yeah.
but not like to the extent that these kids are today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy.
Yeah.
So most of mine were family shows. You know, all of my series, most of them were, you know, people gather around the TV set and watch the $6 Million Man, or the
We
Big
did
Valley,
when I was a
or
kid.
the Fall Guy.
Yep.
So now we're into the younger generation. You got to keep
Yeah.
up.
Awesome.
Also horror, like even when I was coming up in the late 80s and early 90s, was basically if you did horror, it was just a little bit better than doing porn. At least you weren't doing porn.
That's correct.
That's what, now it's cool. But then it was like, well, at least you're not selling crack. That's a good thing. That
Guys,
was the vibe.
I want to thank you so much for joining us today on IGN Live at Comic-Con 2016.
Thank you. We love being here.
Thank you
For
very
all
much.
of further coverage on Comic-Con, Ash vs. Evil Dead, keep it here on IGN.
Thank you.